I want to talk about this Walmart story. Yesterday, the D.C. Council passed the Large Retailer Accountability Act. That's what they call it. A bill that everyone agrees was aimed squarely at Walmart that would require Walmart to pay its employees a super minimum wage of $12.50 an hour, while everyone else in the district could pay a minimum wage of $8.25. The vote, as it was on first reading, 8-5 in favor of the bill. It now goes to the mayor's desk. D.C. Councilmember Yvette Alexander was one of the 5 votes against this measure, and she joins us now on the phone. Councilmember Alexander, thanks for joining us. Why did you think this was bad legislation?
Good morning. Thanks for having me. Yeah, you just said the title, and in essence, the bill should have been named the anti-Walmart bill. This was just unfair legislation. It was discriminatory, and it didn't apply to any other retailer at this time in the District of Columbia. I mean, it just didn't make sense.
Yeah.
And Walmart has been a good player in the District of Columbia, really responsible for 2 major development plans, or is the catalyst for 2 major development plans in the district that I represent. And if this legislation goes through, if the mayor signs off, then we're back to the drawing board on some, multi-million-dollar projects, and it's just not fair.
Your colleague, Councilmember Alexander, Vincent B. Orange, he said yesterday that, I'm quoting him now, we're at a point where we don't need retailers. Retailers need us. That's his quote. Is that your take on where things are right now in the district?
That's definitely not my take. We go to the International Conference of shopping centers, of retailers in Las Vegas every year, and we sell the District of Columbia. Retailers have the choice to go anywhere in the U.S. and abroad where they want to go. Now, mind you, this is a good market for business, but, there's a lot of choices out there.
Well, a really quick follow-up. Did Councilmember Orange go with you to that trip to Vegas?
He indeed did.
Oh, that's it. Well, listen, if we don't need retailers, what's he doing taking this trip to Vegas if he thinks we don't need retailers? He should have stayed home.
Exactly. That's my thought. We have to sell ourselves like everyone else. And let me tell you, I think we're a great city to be in, but Walmart, is a multi-billion-dollar company. They don't have to come here. They're not asking us for anything to come here. As a matter of fact, they're offering us 600 jobs, 300 jobs per store. So they are offering us incentives for them to place their stores here.
Yeah.
And it'll be the catalyst for even other retailers are really attracted. When they know a big box retailer is coming in town, they know that they'll do well if they locate in that same development.
That's right. They are anchors for other development inside, so you can turn around a whole neighborhood just by having a major store come in. That seems to be lost on many of your fellow council members. All right, so the vote was 8-5 that on first and second reading. No votes changed, even though Walmart said, if you do this, we're going to take 3 of our stores and go elsewhere with them. It now goes to the mayor's desk. Now, do I have this correct? The mayor could veto this, and there aren't probably, if the votes stay where they are, he doesn't have, there wouldn't be enough votes to override his veto, correct?
Exactly.
So it's really up to the mayor now, is it not?
It's really up to the mayor, and hey, Mayor Gray has worked really hard to bring these Walmarts to the city. He's worked really hard with a benefits package. So, I'm going to urge him to veto. As soon as I get off the phone with you, I'm putting in a call to the mayor.
Well, I'm glad you've got your priorities straight, Councilmember Alexander. Let me ask you this, because we hear from so many people who have a bone to pick with Walmart. We hear that they take advantage of their workers by not paying them enough. We hear that they cut their hours and they don't give them benefits. We also hear that they undercut prices in a neighborhood, and that hurts other stores. Could you talk, instead of defending all of those accusations, I'd like to take a different angle here. Tell me about how Ward 7 would benefit from Walmart coming into your ward. What good is going to happen to Ward 7?
Well, it's going to happen. A lot of great things are going to happen. For one, we have a lot of food deserts. We have a lack of retail and shopping in Ward 7. So it's going to provide, as you stated earlier, that anchor tenant. It's going to provide shopping options. It's going to provide competition for some things that are considered substandard or need to they need to rev it up a little bit. So it's going to bring some competition into play, and it's going to offer jobs for our residents. And with regards to the pay, let me tell you that in our bordering Prince George's County, there are Walmarts located there where our district residents are now working.
Yeah.
So there have been not one complaint with all the anti-Walmart activists coming into the Wilson building, coming into City Hall. They have not brought one employee who works locally who has complained about Walmart.
And here's another thing that I don't think has been considered. If this becomes the law in the district, and they take this one swack at Walmart simply because the unions don't like them, and that's, let's be honest, that's what this really is all about.
That's what it's really all about.
Okay, but that's going to send a message to all the other retailers who are thinking about coming to the District of Columbia. They're going to say, we're not going there because they'll shake us down for money.
Tell us about it, and that's the real deal, that this applies to only Walmart now, but we're talking it's going to apply to every new large retailer who even wants to think about coming into the city. So right now where we have a Target already in the district, if a new Target comes here, the same rules don't apply. Right now we have a Costco in the District of Columbia. If a new Costco wants to come, right now the same rules don't apply. It does not make sense. It's not fair, and retailers aren't going for it.
Our guest
They can go to our bordering Maryland and Virginia and do business.
Our guest is D.C. Councilmember Yvette Alexander. You just said something. I just want to follow up on it. You just said you see this anti-Walmart activity, these people who are lobbying against Walmart there in the Wilson building, and you acknowledge that the unions play a big part in this. Can you tell me? I'm sure you've been lobbied by these folks, and your colleagues clearly have. Who are these unions? These organizations are backed by unions. Which unions are it? This is organized labor who's really pulling the strings here. And what is the major beef that they've got?
Well, I think they're going by the past history and track record of Walmart, and that was from years ago. When any other retailer has come into the city, they have not made a big stink about it. But Walmart, and let's face it, Walmart's past history was not the best. It was really the worst, to be quite frank. But they have done a complete turnaround, and I think their reputation kind of, carries with them over the years. And they need to do a lot. And I've talked to Walmart, too. They need to do a lot to kind of, revamp their reputation out there.
All right. Well, Councilmember Yvette Alexander, thank you so much for joining us. I expect you now to hang up the phone, call the mayor, and start twisting his arm, okay?
And let him know anytime we bring...
The mayor's listening. Mr. Mayor, veto the bill.
There it is. All right, Councilmember Alexander. I know there's a D after your name, but I got to tell you, you sound like you were channeling Ronald Reagan and Jack Kemp there with supply-side economics.
How about that? Yeah.
Thank you, Councilmember. Her opponent in the next campaign will use that against